So this is the longhouse at Logee's Greenhouses, and this is our entryway as you come into from our office into the greenhouses. And in this greenhouse we have a lot of our stock and specimen plants. It's also a warm greenhouse, so this is really a tropical area where we keep plants that can tolerate or enjoy the warmer temperatures. And in this house we also have many of the plants that we sell to our customers. So come on and I'll show you. So this is an interesting plant. This is a Callistemon, which is a native of Australia. And you can see it's grown here as a basket. Common name is bottle brush. Comes into flower this time of year. Has these red flowers. Very, very drought tolerant, so it makes a great container plant. See above our heads here we have one of our older begonias. This is Begonia Elaine. So she's quite old. It's an angel wing hanging basket variety. Very, very easy to grow, very resilient. It survived probably, I don't know, the hybrid must go back into probably the 30s, so it's really quite an old plant, but an excellent plant for containers. Originally this greenhouse was put up for cut flowers, and you have soil or dirt beds here which were filled with cut flowers. On the right hand side the benches were put up where they contained potted plants. This house was put up during the 20s, so at that time Logee's was really not a mail order company. We were local florists, and they grew cut flowers and grew potted plants for the holidays. This is an interesting winter bloomer, which is the Streptosolin thomsoniae. It makes a cascading basket plant, or in the case of this one here, it's a standard. And it is a plant that goes on for probably about 5 months of bloom. A little sensitive. It's something that you have to have very good light for, and you have to really keep your eye on the watering. Otherwise, it can get damaged by being dried out. This is one of our older plants here that's been for many years. This is Jasmine sambac, and you can see this is yesterday's flower turning pink. But this is one of the more famous jasmines of the world trade, where it's used in India, Thailand, the Buddhists, and also in China. Has some sacred value to it. It's grown in India as a cut flower, actually, and this old plant's been here probably about 35 years. We had an original plant here and it died off, got some root disease problems, so I grafted a plant onto some understock and put it back in here. It's been happy ever since. Here's another interesting plant. This is macrobotrys hexapetalum. If you can see the flower up in the top there. And the plant actually has these hooks along the stem that it grabs onto the tree as it climbs. You can see them right there, these hooks on the end there. And this flower actually has a very highly fragrant, fruity scent to it. It's very hard to propagate and very slow growing, but a wonderful plant for conservatories. We also have here, this is in April, so it's still the winter bloom. This is the Freycinetia vine, which is in the Dracaena family. Puts out these orange flowers. Now these are fully open. They never open more than that, and they last for several weeks, each individual flower. But it's always a winter bloomer for us. It blooms on the shortening days. In this house we have many interesting plants. There's another jasmine right here. You can see the flower. That's the angel wing jasmine, Jasmine nitidum. Nitidum is a very easy to grow and very resilient jasmine. It has a sweet smell to it. You see all the flower buds coming onto it. So this is a wall here that we constantly prune. The more you prune, the more flowers you get. And then we also have our Bougainvilleas. There's several in this greenhouse that we've planted. This is a red one called Crimson Lake. Also have another red over here called Bower Clerodendrum. It's interesting, if you look at them, they're not that red, they're actually pink, but if you put them out in full sun, they'd actually get so red you could hardly even, you almost need sunglasses to look at them. But it's the diffusion coming through the glass that actually causes the flowers to get a little lighter in color. This is an old vine of ours which flowers this time of year and into the summer. This is Clerodendrum thomsoniae, glory bower, and you can see the calyxes are white with the red flowers coming out. It's an old-fashioned houseplant, does very well in containers. And like from now, as we go on into the summertime, there'll be a continuous cycle of blooms on it. It's a white Petrea vine. This is an interesting plant. It has these pinwheel flowers on it that if you drop them down, they get that. But you'll see if we can show them here. They spin down, and normally they're purple in color. This is an alba form of that. Here we have Tabernae montana Holtzii. It's a very, very fragrant tropical. You can see the size of the flower on this. It's very large. We have some up here coming on. It's very hard to propagate. Really has to be grafted because it doesn't like the understock. But highly fragrant, even from daytime as well as into the night. And also in this house we have our Jade Vine Strongylodon macrobotrys. We have 2 of these in the greenhouses. This is one area where we keep this. You can see the density of this big vine up in here. It's almost a challenge to keep it contained, but there it is with its turquoise flowers. And again, flowers at this time of year. And above my head here we have another Bougainvillea. This is Texas thorn. This has been here for probably 60 years or more. It was planted in the greenhouses in around 1950, I think. This vine was put in. Many of these vines have been here for decades. And originally, of course, I say this was all open for cut flowers, but it was my father's idea to put these specimens along on the support posts so that people could come in and see what they actually look like when they're growing kind of freely. And that's the longhouse.